cloning has been around since the beginning of life. Bacteria, like these, use cloning to reproduce. Cloning was the main form of reproduction for thousands of years. We humans have been fascinated by cloning ever since the discovery of cells in 1665. August Weismann had this theory in which the left side of the cell made up the left side of the embryo, and the right side of the cell made up the right side of the embryo. He then said that each side had half the genetic code. This theory was important because it made people think that cloning was possible if you took parts from the right side of the cell and the left side of the cell. His theory sparked a wave of experiments that made cloning popular. However, his theory was later proved false. But the love of cloning stayed. What is going to happen here is we're going to watch a nuclear fusion. This is how cloning is possible. The needle on the end just went and took the nucleus out. This egg is now an enucleated egg, which means that it has no chemical makeup. That is to say, no DNA. That blob on the right is the nucleus, which they just squirted out because they didn't need it anymore. What we are about to see is them squirting the nucleus of an adult cell into the egg that we just watched them take the nucleus out of. This is the starting process for cloning. If this egg survives, it will grow into whatever animal the nucleus was. That was nuclear transfer, which is how all cloning starts. For many years, it was thought that cloning was not possible. However, in 1978, David Rorvik wrote a book called In His Image. In the book, he stated that he had cloned a millionaire, but refused to give proof or the millionaire's name. Scientists were outraged, saying that this book could not be called nonfiction and demanding that Rorvik give proof. So the book went to court and was challenged. The jury ruled that the book could not be called nonfiction because Rorvik gave no proof. Scientists were very happy at this, and Rorvik was shunned from the science world. In the same year, the first test tube baby was born in England. Louise Brown was placed as an embryo in a glass jar and grown there. It was a major breakthrough for cloning. In 1952, scientists would clone the first animal, a tadpole. This animal was cloned by taking the embryo of a frog and putting it in an enucleated egg. Scientists then went on to clone many other animals, all from embryonic DNA. Many people thought it was impossible to clone with adult DNA until the most famous sheep in history. Dolly was born in 1996 to a normal sheep. Dolly was made by taking udder cells from an adult sheep and implanting them in eggs. These eggs were then implanted in adult sheep. Unfortunately, Dolly was the only one to survive. Ever since the beginning, cloning has been a huge controversy. Many religious groups are opposed to cloning, saying that only God should create man. In fact, Ian Wilmot, the creator of Dolly, finds it sad that cloning might be used on humans someday. Many countries have gone as far as making cloning illegal. This has just caused even more controversy. Much of this fear is caused by a book called The Boys from Brazil by Ira Levin. In the book, somebody clones Adolf Hitler, and many troubles ensue because of it. People are also afraid that if a country can clone the perfect soldier, then they would have an army of perfect soldiers.
Begun. The Clone War has.
This is not possible. For a clone to be an exact duplicate of another, it would have to have the exact same environment. I could clone myself, but then my clone might be entirely different. Environment matters as much as DNA. There are many uses for cloning, and people are researching them. The most popular use for cloning right now is bone marrow transplants. This would be done by cloning the bone marrow and implanting it in the old bone. This would save many people's lives. There are many other uses for cloning. People who couldn't have kids now could clone children for themselves. Also, scientists could clone body parts for people who need them. None of these are available yet, but stem cells are helping many people with diseases. With all these amazing things in store, cloning can open up many doors for humanity. Cloning is our future.